taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
And we had a fucking pay-per-view with one Saul Canelo Alvarez. That shit has barely got any mention. Like
that shit came and went, and the crazy part is, it was a solid card for the most part.
It was, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, and you know the fights were decent. You know, like I said, Stanionis finally, you know, after 2 years, you know, with Maestre, like in that fight, honestly, I thought that was a knockout. That should have, you know, I thought that Maestre is tougher than I fucking thought. That was
Maestre's got pedigree. That's why I was telling, but obviously he's old, so that kind of kicked in, you know, like. I mean, you know, like after round 6, he got kind of ankle like it was a fire fight, then it got boring. Like after he gassed out, it's kind of fucking boring.
He ain't gas out, dude. Look, like people don't understand how hard it is to fight guys like Stanionis. Yeah. Because to beat a guy like Stanionis, you gotta have either one or two things or both in your favor.
You gotta pace it out, shit.
That comes from ring generalship, IQ, and all that shit. That's a skill thing too. Mm-hmm. But you either gotta be that explosive, crazy puncher, or you gotta be a volume guy who you know, you could just fucking fitness. You could fight. You the type of guy who could throw 800 punches for 12 rounds. Like, you're a Margarito, Paul Williams type of Sam Solomon motherfucker. Like,
right,
a fitness guy. And it'll help you if you got some decent pop on your shots too. But you literally have to have one or the other, or just be a guy who's just an all-around great, high-level, elite boxer. Because the reason why I say this, because Stanionis does so much. He does everything good. Mm-hmm. All his punches are powerful. And I know we just finished talking about Inoue, but just to give you the Stanionis, like my man Android said, Stanionis is pure effective pressure.
Right.
But he's pressured in a way where everything is done correctly. Mm-hmm. He blocks his shots with his forearms, elbows coming in. He picks off shots. He slips and slides a little bit. But he has that damn fucking jab that's consistent.
Right.
And he has a temperament where he always wants his get back. So if you're outworking him, he's gonna fucking still be there in front of you, letting you know he's there, pumping that jab. He'll get a right hand. And even the rounds where Maestre was getting him in the first half, I was like, damn, he's kind of putting it on Stanionis. Stanionis never got overwhelmed or to the point where it's like, yeah, he's getting a hole, like he's digging a hole for himself. Like he was still in the fight. Mm-hmm. And that's how good Stanionis' pressure is, because it makes you have to overwork. And that's what Maestre was doing. And Maestre has good power. He has pop on his shots.
Yeah, he does.
But you know, if motherfuckers overworking you, the power starts going down if you don't do like Pilot said and start fucking boxing. Yeah. And Maestre kind of got sucked into that fight with Stanionis because he had success with it.
And he was too far gone.
Thank you. And that's what kind of happens with Matias too. But Stanionis is an overall better boxer than Matias as well. Like Stanionis does everything Matias does better. The same type of fighter.
The only difference is Stanionis just doesn't have Matias's type of power. You know, Matias's power kind of...
He doesn't, but I don't know. Like, I think that power is comparable.
Because truthfully, Stanionis, Stanionis doesn't drop. I mean, he hasn't dropped anyone or knocked out anyone in a little bit. That's which is the weird.
Well, he ain't fought in like 2 years now.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
You know what it is? Stanionis has like that Andrew Galata power. He has that beat the shit out of you power. It ain't that one punch.
Yeah, but that's even Matias. Matias is similar. Matias has that club and chop tree chop you down power. He's not a one hit.
No, I think Matias has more like a little more oomph.
Yeah, more oomph.
Yeah, because the thing is, because Stanionis has fought both Louis Collazo and Delorme and didn't drop either of them.
No, but their power is
the
similar.
shit out of them though.
But their power is similar, where they're looking to break you down and they'll thud. But but Matias got more thud.
Matias hit with that. Maybe you know what it is. It's difference. Okay, this is a difference. Matias is a guy who hits with more force. Force is what puts you down. Stanionis hits with sharpness. Sharpness beats you up. That's why when Stanionis fight people, he got them heavy hands. He hit sharp, compact, flush shots. Niggas be looking like they beat up and shit.
And he's naturally a strong guy, so
that too. So a strong guy hitting you correctly, with turning his shots over and his jabs are sounding off. Yeah, if I had to choose who I had, if someone said, "Yo, Sutter, if you had to box both them niggas and they're your size, respecting class, whatever the fuck," and I had a choice who to choose, I'd rather box Matias than Stanionis.
And like I said, I mean, like it will take a certain type of fighter, like either someone that can match him physically or anything. That's why when that whole tournament with Ugas came around, like that's why I was like, because Ugas was supposed to face Stanionis. Like that's I was like, if Ugas went through that little gauntlet the WBA set up, I would put respect on Ugas' name on that shit. Yeah. Because there was
Stanionis would have beat the shit out of Ugas though.
Yeah. So yeah, but Stanionis took the step aside, and Ugas got the fight for Spence, and then that's all she wrote. So
Ugas was gonna get a beating either way, but
he was. But
Stanionis gonna beat the shit out of Barrios though if they would fight. I'll say that.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, speaking of that, well, first of all,
he does everything Barrios does better.
But definitely, salute for Stanionis after 2 years, after all the 2 years of fuckery, coming back there and getting go in and taking my straight 0, which needed to be took anyway because it was about time, But
yeah, facts.
Yeah, but Mario Barrios, now he had the most mid opponent out of the whole shit.
Fucking
looks the most mid.
Fucking trash.
Yeah, Barrios. This is where my shit. Why I say Barrios isn't all that. This fight is a good example of that. Like Maidana, I get it. Fabian Maidana. First of all, I hope he's never on TV again. Like on some real shit. Like I mean, whatever he was doing in Argentina, he can go back and do that, or live, or work for his brother, or whatever the fuck he needs to be doing. Like,
listen, both Matisse and Maidana have a trash brother, and this is the trash brother for the Maidana.
Damn. Walter never gave me no boring ass fight though.
That's also true. Yeah, Walter just got
Walter at least threw fucking hands.
Yeah, he just got beat the fuck up every time.
Yeah,
he just got beat.
Hey, look, nigga, I'd rather you throw hands and get beat the fuck up than try to disguise your power and your skills into not trying to throw hands and slowly beat my eyes up watching you.
Yeah, because the fun thing is too is like Barrios, although dropped Maidana in the fight like that, and after that it just seemed like he didn't know what to do with Maidana. Maidana wasn't fighting, but every time Maidana landed, he gave him trademarks. Like Barrios' eye was swollen shut.
Yeah, dude, Maidana hit harder than fucking Barrios realized or wanted to like he hit too hard for him to really work his game plan. My bad, pilot.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is like if Maidana had actually kept the jab in that eye, he probably could have forced to stop it because that eye was shut and swollen.
These niggas were afraid of each other. Let's just call it out. Yeah. Like Fabian felt the right hand because that was a good fucking right hand.
Yeah, that was the right hand that dropped him. Yeah,
dude, that shit was like sharp. He hit it.
Yeah,
and so Fabian was like, "Fuck, that shit hurt."
Yeah.
But then them counters had Barrios like, "Fuck you," like he a little scrappy when he wanna be.
Yeah,
he got some heavy hands. Fuck that. And so they both just had that damn Teddy Atlas silent agreement. It just Barrios did a little more, and he just didn't want to risk, them more swelling up, I guess. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was a
disappointed a little bit in Barrios because I do like he has more that warrior effort. Like this is more Barrios from 140 where before the Tank fight Barrios.
And for me, this was the Barrios that I've always thought that he was. Like yeah. It was straight up struggle, and even at least Barrios himself has knowledge of self. He was like, "Yo, I fought trash. Like this was a terrible fight.
Yeah.
Like bro. Like
that's why we fuck with him because he humble, bro. Like damn.
Yeah. But yeah, even he's like, yeah, this wasn't my best fight, and I have to go back. I could do better. And this is a motherfucker that had the most elaborate entrance too, and was coming out there again. And he came out more lumped up than Maidana was. So I'm just like. Yeah, that shit.
But he also won, imagine the after party. Like you won.
he didn't win like 10-2. I mean, let's be real though. He didn't win like 9-3, but and he dropped him. So it's not like it wasn't the best performance ever. But I still want to see him versus Stanionis. I still want to see that fight when Bud drops the belts to make that a unification. Something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Barrios need a money fight.
Yeah, Barrios, I think. He needs to probably face someone else before he faces Stanionis or whatever. Before Crawford drops these belts or whatever. I mean, right now Barrios.
Chill, bro. Because the way Mario Barrios looking, he might lose again. Let this nigga fight for a title, bro. Chill, like.
Well, no, because he's an interim WBC. So
if when Bud drops that WBC belt, he's gonna be the new champion. Like champion.
And Stanionis will too. So it's an easy. And it sucks for Ennis because Ennis was supposed to clean that shit up, but. PBC didn't want to.
He got his belt though. Still,
he got his belt, but what I'm saying is he ain't gonna fight those guys now. He ain't gonna unify.
No. The great Eddie Hearn promised he's gonna get Ennis the biggest fights.
And on top of that, too, we're in the Saudi boxing era, so everything is possible now.
Yeah, we can, nigga. We might fight these niggas soon, bro. I mean, shit. Let Ring Gang go viral or something. Then who knows? Like. Man, let's start matching up the boxing podcasts against each other. Like 5-on-5. Y'all ain't gonna find 9 motherfuckers like Ring Gang. Nigga, chill. Like.
And then also Brandon Figueroa and Jesse Magdaleno. Now this fight, if it wasn't for the knockout, I would have said this fight would have been the trash fight. But at least because Magdaleno, first of all, he blew away and he didn't, and then second of all, dude was just. In fact, you can tell Magdaleno has all the skills in the world. He has skills,
yes,
but he just doesn't have. I don't know. I think he's kind of lost his love for boxing a little bit. He
fights like that. Like the passion isn't there, but his autopilot is so good.
He's on his JoJo Diaz shit, huh? Basically.
Yeah, he is like JoJo Diaz because now you see like he's a whole former world champion. He has a win over Donaire. A clear win.
And I mean, Ray Ford dropped him and hurt him, and it looked bad at first. I was like, okay, come on, Figgy. I mean, I know Figgy. He went back to his smothering.
Figgy was looking low key trash. Like he was like.
Though. I mean, he ain't fought in a little bit, right? I'm cut a little bit of break for these niggas.
I mean, funny thing is because me and LB were criticizing his performance against Maxell. You liked that. You liked his performance.
I did, yeah.
I thought I was more impressed with Maxell putting hands on him. You know what I'm saying? But but at least Figueroa, but the buzzer beater liver shot knockout though was beautiful though. That shit was dope. Because it was like it took him a while to get to that body shot, but once he got to that shit was a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Figueroa would be good for some body shots though.
Hell yeah.
Fuck that. I still want to see him fight anyway, man. Make that fight. God damn.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, no one ever brings up his name. No
one. Honestly, we gotta maybe just talk about that matchup or make a side video or some shit. But because no one talks about that match. You're right. No one talks, and it's like it's the obvious. They got the common opponent.
Yeah.
And it's a different style too. Like,
I mean, even names like Lopez and Shushu character are brought up, but Figueroa for whatever reason on boxing Twitter, or no one brings him up as a monster opponent.
Well, Top Rank has a lot of real estate at 126. I mean, I get. I want to see Figgy. I wanted to see Neri in monster, so I want to see Figgy monster. But the thing is, obviously, Eno is gonna fight mostly guys that aligns on PBC. I mean, on Top Rank, ESPN, and that's Venado Lopez. That's the guy BC lost to maybe, but I don't know if Monster wants to fight that 6'1" fucking featherweight.
I mean, it's all good fucking. It's all good opponents. I mean, but Figueroa is the most known of these fighters, and
he's the most. I feel like you could really promote a. If you thought you promoted a Fulton fight big time with Inoue, a Figueroa fight is bigger. Then you got, first of all, the common opponent thing. Both could make an argument that they beat Fulton. Just one guy unofficially.
Yeah.
So you had that. You had the whole Mexican fan base you could bring in with Figueroa. Mm-hmm. The whole pretty boy shit. And then what's his name? Barrios winning though, ain't it? Like, ain't he got that nigga's sister now? Like, yeah. So that's what was on his mind. Like, yeah, we get it. So
I think he seated her up and everything. He wiped her up and got her.
Yeah. That nigga seen the Mint video was like, fuck that.
I need her on my
she only gonna do that with her brothers. She ain't gonna do that with nobody else.
You got any brothers? Unforgivable.
Oh man, so yeah, that's but that's you could sell that fight.
That's at 126. So like we have to wait a little bit because Monster's still at 122, and Monster still got some. It seems like Monster might chill at 122 for a bit. So. Figgy's at 126, so that's the thing.
But that's something they could talk up, like, dude, motherfuckers will talk up a goddamn fight at 135 before a 126 that's right there.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't care if nobody say Figueroa beat motherfucking Fulton. Like, I don't care, nobody. Even if that fight would have been a draw, I would have been cooler, but nah, you can't moonwalk that many times and win.
And like I said, the draw on Figueroa's record is probably a clearer loss to him than the actual loss itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like if he didn't have that draw, they might have gave him the W, but I don't know. I just feel like that draw might have fucked them in that Fulton fight because it's like.
I mean, that draw is the only fight where I was concerned that Figueroa was getting his head beaten. Like, they needed to watch that shit. Because he was getting his ass whooped in that fight.
Because no one really put everybody put hands on Figueroa, but that fight it just felt different. Like the hands felt like there was winning.
Yeah, the hands were effective for once. Yeah.
The other hands, they always seem like because even the Damien was that Vasquez.
Yeah, the Vasquez fight. Yeah.
He's another dude who's putting hands on Figgy, but the hands are always on some like, hey nigga, get the fuck away from me, chill. Like yo, this pressure is too much. Hands.
Right.
The other nigga was throwing hands like, nigga, you too open. Hands. Like, your defense is trash. Hands. Like fuck your defense, nigga. Hands.
Yeah, and even all that though, Figueroa he hasn't been down yet or whatever, and he's hard to dissuade. Like no one has actually managed to make him really to dissuade him like that, with the exception of Seha, that only fight. But Seha didn't even drop him. So yeah. Talk up Figueroa versus Monster. We'll be more than happy to join in those conversations.
You know what? You might have to throw Figueroa a title in one of these titles for the videos or something, bro. Like
word, yeah.
With Inoue, like to make motherfuckers start like get the drums rolling. But yo, my bad said I feel like this just let me know that boxing was so good lately.
Yeah, well,
that I feel like huh?
Yeah, boxing is boxing, son. Like, it's really boxering, nigga.
No, it is, because that's my point, nigga. Cause God, I feel like boxing is so good right now that I feel like we low-key dragging it to get to the Canelo Munguia fight.
And that's true. And the funny thing is, too, is that fight was actually a decent, because, it
was a decent fight, right?
Yeah, it was a decent fight. I mean, Munguia won a good 4 rounds in this fight. Like, it was a solid 8-4. But my things about this part, and then the uppercut, Munguia finally planted that motherfucker in the canvas. And I had to admit though, that uppercut was a beauty. Like Canelo hit that shit, you know, and
it was a jab, uppercut, then a left hook to the body.
Yeah.
That was a good little combo.
And sat that motherfucker down though. But Munguia though, and you can tell, because I was reading Android's, I think it was Android's tweet, because I think that Munguia effort kind of boosted his social media stuff. Like I think he has like 1 million followers, just like fucking Isak Cruz. Like he has 1 million followers on Instagram now because they're like, okay, this is a true Mexican there though. But Munguia, even as Munguia's basic, you know, pressure offensive, I mean, it was still enough because it was no frills, straight up and down 6 o'clock type of shit, nigga, and he still was able to get 4 clean rounds on that. But the thing is, Canelo seemed like he was fighting in first gear, and whooped him in first gear. On top of that too, because you know, he clearly was in shape. He had more energy than he usually had. And I think at times, Canelo even held back from the ass whooping because he didn't want to beat him up too bad. Because there were times I'm thinking to myself, like, Canelo can probably go for the finish. But
that's honestly what it felt like. It felt like he kind of just let him live. Like, because he could have gotten him out of there multiple times throughout that fight.
Yeah, because I think this was.
Y'all really think that? Like, this is the same nigga from Ryder. Like,
I've seen a theory.
He didn't have that extra gear.
I've seen multiple people post theories. Oh, he saved them. Because he respects Mexican boxing. He wants to sign him or some shit. He sees a young Canelo in him. I've seen a lot of bullshit like that. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I don't know, bro. Like this Canelo we're talking about.
No, the
thing is, there was too many opportunities that were just right there for it to not, like, I don't know. It's just crazy.
No, there was one, I won't lie. In the 12th round, there was one, somebody slowed it down a little bit where Canelo clearly rocks him, but he fucking clinches. Canelo initiates the clinch after he fucking rocks him. That was a little weird to me. I'm not gonna lie. That was just a little off. I don't know why he did that.
The funny thing is too, I think because I would have thought Canelo would want to make a statement because obviously Canelo and Oscar had a war of words, and Canelo was calling him all types of homophobic slurs and utensils this and Maricola that and all that other shit. I thought he was gonna make a statement with Munguia, but I guess because Munguia remained respectful of him and shit like that he probably just let him live. It's like, okay, I dropped you, I'm boxing you up in first gear, you're catching these hands, and I think that was just Canelo just did enough, and surprisingly, it was probably his most entertaining fight in a while, too.
Yeah.
So
the uppercut changed everything. I feel like the uppercut changed everything. After he dropped Munguia couldn't get off what he wanted to. He didn't want to, because all he knows is that straight pressure, that Mexican pressure, and he couldn't do that. I don't know.
And one thing too, and again, like if Munguia was still with Eric Morales, Eric might have been able to put more of a wrinkle in his game. Instead, because like I said, this was just like the Derevyanchenko fight. Like he was just, he was taking these punches kind of straight. Although his hands were a little busier, yes, what I'm saying. But I feel like if Eric Morales was still training, he could put a little bit more wrinkles fight to really make it really hot for Canelo. Instead, but like I said, Canelo just did what Canelo does against someone whose defense is not 100%, and. But it was an entertaining fight. Don't get me wrong; it wasn't dull by any sense of the imagination. It was a very entertaining fight because Munguia, unlike most of Canelo's opponents, did not stop trying to win. Even as he was just getting badly outclassed. So, again, so it's obviously a great win, and then. You get some of the videos you see of Canelo inviting Benavidez, who was there, to come into the ring. Benavidez didn't do that, and that's fine or whatever. But even after all of that, and for these two is like, I know most people don't think that highly of Munguia, but Munguia is he was a decent opponent. He just wasn't Benavidez, So
yeah, but it just showed me that. If that was Benavidez in there, he beat the shit out of Canelo. Because if those basic ass combinations and pressure got 4 legit rounds, and and Canelo never. See, this is the thing. Like, it's a mental thing too. Like, Canelo paced himself.
Yeah.
Like, he had to, because you notice he had to do that in the second Golovkin fight too. Another fight where he had to actually throw punches. So he had to pace himself to go that hard 12 rounds. Those moments where it looked like he could hurt and speed it up and throw the combinations, if he does that and it doesn't stop Munguia, then what? Then this nigga tired again and he got this big motherfucker leaning on him, throwing uppercuts and 1-2s.
I saw some crazy narratives like he's trying to take Jaime away from Oscar. Oh, this is basically his version of Floyd versus Canelo. Like that's a wild one. Y'all saw that one. I mean, y'all saw that.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's still crazy to me that this is the first time Canelo has thrown over 500 punches in a fight since the second Golovkin fight. God damn, that's a long time. Like,
yeah, that's.
I'm looking at some of these.
Like, who's pressured him? Who's fought him like Golovkin's fought him since then?
But you would think he would throw more than like. I'm looking at this like.
No, I've been saying this. Has this not? Let me ask y'all this: has his anemic work rate not been one of my biggest critiques for like ever since Ring Gang started?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, we've always talked about that. I mean, his work rate is one of the things. Like, we're saying like he's in his 20s. His work rate, like we shouldn't say Big Baby Miller shouldn't have more of a work rate than him. Like that's one of the things that we kept on saying.
With or without sauce.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the super soldier serum helped, but
Yeah.
I get it.
But yeah, so that's the thing. Like, so, and see, Bivol threw a lot of punches and was aggressive with Canelo, and Kovalev boxed and he fought behind a good jab and was assertive with Canelo. But the difference is the approaches. They boxed more. And they're so much naturally bigger than Canelo and heavier. Canelo wasn't trying to get opportunity. Canelo wasn't trying to exchange with them like he does with everyone else.
Exactly.
With guys like Golovkin and Munguia who pressure, like they'll box with their pressure, but it's more linear, it's more come at you. Kovalev lateral movement, boxing, Bivol in and out, boxing, dart in and out, little lateral. Golovkin and Munguia is more your everyday Mexican style pressure. Golovkin is a higher level of it, so of course he had more success than Munguia. But if you just had that approach, and I'll be honest, Jamal Charlo has that same approach. And the reason why that fight would be harder than Munguia is because Jamal Charlo doesn't make those same basic mistakes that Munguia makes.
He's a better boxer, but I mean
he's not going to lean over the front foot in the first fucking round.
Those Jamal, taking Jamal as a pedigreed fighter is just kind of hard. So,
I mean, no, we're glad Munguia got the fight, bro. But I'm just saying, the frame of mind.
I mean, were y'all impressed with Munguia, or y'all just expected this kind of performance? Like, I know, I'm just wondering.
He was okay. Look, Munguia's kind of spoiled on the vine, where this was about as good as he was going to look against a guy like Canelo.
Who wins? Him or Boo Boo?
Oh, Andre still beats Munguia.
So let's put it this way, because if Munguia was gonna lose his 0, he at least lost it to Canelo. So at least in a way, this is like a safe base because Munguia was getting. I mean, it was only a matter of time before Munguia would have lost his 0 to someone that he probably shouldn't have lost his 0 to. It was getting to that point for him.
Yeah, because they was trying to be too protective, and it's like you like all his fights that around his weight class, around him and ability, they're all kind of leveled out to where it's like nobody is really a safe fight where it's like a guarantee you'll win. And I think the Derevyanchenko fight kind of showed that, hey, there's no safe fight around you, bro. Let's kind of hold you off until we could get like a moneymaker, a Berlanga, or a Canelo, like one of these Latin fights to propel you or get you more bread type shit.
Right, exactly. So in a way, this was a win situation for him because he still won rounds off Canelo. It wasn't like he got knocked out, sure, but he
buzzed Canelo a couple times too.
Against the ropes, right? A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. Like he would, and that's another thing where I felt like Canelo was unsure about taking it to second gear because there'll be times where he would love Munguia, and then Munguia would just explode 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-1, 1-1, 1-3, 1-1, 1-1, 1-2. And it's like, and Canelo would just have to pick the shots. It would catch Canelo off guard where he couldn't pick the shots.
Right.
And he would, a right hand or a hard jab would go through. And that was happening throughout the fight. Word. And like Pilot said, on occasion, a few of those would damn kind of buzz Canelo. Like you see his head. Like I seen one where I was like, God damn, did he hurt this nigga? Like,
word.
Especially early on in the fight.
Yeah, dude, he was naked, dude. Until the uppercut, he was neck and neck with Canelo.
I'd say he was maybe up 2-0. He was up. He was up 2-1 before the knockdown. The knockdown happened in the fourth round, right, Pat? Was it the fourth?
Yeah, it was in the fourth round.
That changed the fight.
That changed it completely. Yeah.
But that knockdown could have been prevented because if that knockdown happened in the gym, bro. That happened in the gym, and I'll say that because that's bad learning, that's bad training. You're fighting Canelo, who has a great uppercut, and you're giving him an opportunity to hit you with his best punch. You Mexican too? Like, don't y'all know who Canelo is over there? Like, how are you, like... It's not like Derevyanchenko running into Jamal Charlo uppercuts. Because that's a different type of fight. Like, Derevyanchenko's a low-level guy. Not low-level, but lower level as in base. Lower stature.
Right.
He has to kind of swarm you with footwork and angles. But Munguia, you're this big motherfucker, like 6'2", and you're leaning into a nigga that's like 5'7".
Not good look at all.
Not a good look at all. And it's little shit like that. Like, it's little, and that's why it's the little things that can make the biggest difference, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Benavidez doesn't make mistakes like that.
Sure doesn't. I mean, Benavidez at his worst flaw is he's a little bit of a slow starter. It takes him some rounds to get going. But once he gets going,
that reminds me of a certain ginger. Like Canelo a slow starter too. If you're not damn throwing fucking punches on his ass, like
that's also true.
Look how winded he got in the damn Bivol fight.
Yeah,
but the third round, like, I ain't gonna like. The fourth round, Canelo against Bivol was gas.
Yeah, pure gas.
It was gonna happen in the sixth round of the Munguia fight if he didn't get that damn knockdown. Thank you, Munguia. Thank you, Freddie Rhodes. Jeez, nigga.
But I mean, like I said, with Munguia, obviously Munguia will still remains in the 168 picture. But with Canelo now, I mean, obviously now there's a couple of directions with Canelo. Now the most obvious one, because this was the last fight on the PBC contract that Canelo signed. So Canelo is a free agent. So obviously now right now, which is probably the strongest possibility, is Canelo will face Edgar Berlanga. In that case, if he does, I don't want to hear no Canelo fan, stan, or whatever try to defend this fight.
They're justifying it already. The only reason why I can say okay is because he's Puerto Rican. It's going to sell up the Barclays in New York because he's a New Yorker. That's the only reason. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. But
that still don't mean it. That don't mean it's okay.
But it's justified in the sense it makes sense.
You're victim blaming.
And you know this because fucking Berlanga was there, fucking talking shit to every fucking body that
all week. He's been there all week. He's been there all week.
Yeah.
Because he's Eddie Hearn guy. Canelo's going back to Eddie. Canelo's going back to Eddie for his next fight before the Saudi shit that we might touch.
Yeah, because Eddie mean easy Eddie Street over there, bro. Like the Hearn, like.
Well, because Hearn's
the fights won't make no damn no impact though.
I see the play because after this, obviously it's going to be Berlanga because Matt from shit, but obviously Eddie's got the Saudis in his pockets or vice versa. So Canelo's going to be messing with the Saudis. You know what I'm saying? We know that's happening pretty soon here. Obviously, I mean y'all see the play, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah. It is. So that's why Berlanga's running his mouth. Running his mouth to Morrell, to Plan, to Tank. This motherfucker can't stop talking shit. He's like, that's.
Real quick, how's a 3-fight deal not include fucking David Benavidez? Like, really? I'm just wondering, like when Canelo got announced to that PBC 3-fight deal, didn't we all assume Benavidez would be the third guy?
I mean, there's a lot of things to assume, but most likely Canelo's been taking PBC for a ride. Like Canelo don't give a fuck about no Al Heyman or anything like that. He fleeces him every single time.
Did he even thank Al Heyman? I don't think he even thanked him after the fight.
I mean, honestly, I thought they would have had him for a long time.
But Canelo been fleecing the sport though. Like, if he's been fleecing PBC, then he damn been sure fleecing Eddie.
Yeah.
It's just the difference is that they don't become events when he fleecing Eddie. They're just like they come and go. The only reason this wasn't an event and they just came and went was because so much other shit going on right now.
Right.
And within boxing and within just the culture that run parallel to boxing.
Right. But I mean, either way, it's nasty work right now because Berlanga is like at the top of the 168 ratings, and he hasn't beaten a motherfucking nobody. You know what I'm saying?
And and remember, it's a blatant duck too. So you got to remember, this always was a constellation prize ass fight. So
yeah.
Do you think a Canelo Benavidez would get overshadowed by a fucking rap battle?
Yeah, fucking no. Shit.
Even if it was the two biggest names in the damn in rap.
Yeah.
Bruh, like fucking Tupac and Biggie ain't overshadowed no damn Tyson Holyfield.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yo, it's nasty work to see Berlanga at number 1 for the WBA. And the WBA,
that's crazy.
The WBA is been at the helm of a lot of Canelo's 168 fuckery too. So it's like between the WBA and the WBC.
It's just funny because Morrell was a WBA quote unquote regular champ for a long time. Obviously, and he got 10-11 fights, but now it's like, Berlanga's got the fight. Now let's make that fight happen. But we never hear anything about Canelo versus Canelo. So you never heard of Morrell? Get the fuck out of here! You never heard of Morrell? I'm just saying, like, come on.
Well, he's heard of Morrell, just doesn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Dude, if he didn't hear of Benavidez, like he just now hearing of Benavidez, so he ain't hear of Morrell, bro.
Because remember what Canelo said in his interview: "I'm Mexican. I fight whoever I want." That motherfucker. He's feeling himself. He's smelling himself,
yeah.
Real.
He's gonna spoil himself on the vine. I'm telling you, like.
Did y'all peep?
It'll happen.
Did y'all peep when they asked about Benavidez and he kind of shut it down and they were booing? So he said, "But I'm Mexican." They all cheered him after that.
Yeah,
like they were booing. And then he said, "Viva Mexico!" And they're all cheering for him again.
Like they just forgot about that shit. Like, damn, did we just watch this nigga duck this nigga? He's Mexican though. Like,
he's Mexican though. Yeah, he's Mexican.
Like I knew there was a collective boo. This thing
it was a loud boo for a second.
It was a loud ass boo.
Yeah, that
motherfucker was like boo.
Yeah. Canelo, that motherfucker was wilding out hard though. But that crowd was like, all he had to say is Mexican. Like, that was it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, like it was an entertaining little offering. Like I said, with the exception, of course, of that one fight, like I said, shout out to Jesus Ramos, man, for the brutal knockout that he scored on the prelim.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. That was a good ass fight too.
It was,
It was kind of, Ramos. I feel like Ramos was playing with his food, but he finished it off. So, yeah, you can't hate on that.
Nah, he played with his food a little bit, but. If he had that performance with Lubin, we wouldn't be having this fight.
Exactly.
Like I don't know what like, but I know plenty of people told him, "Yo, man, that fight was yours, but you didn't like you didn't grab it like you should have." Like,
right. You kept losing.
So I know he learned his lesson. Like even if he played with his food because he knew it was only a matter of time, but.
Right, but
he ain't gonna do that to nobody on Lubin level. He gonna go for it because he learned his lesson.
Exactly.
Because he was on the fucking. Remember that fight got him demoted to the goddamn the Freeview.
Exactly. That's just crazy. That motherfucker was damn near it was a co-main on a pay-per-view. Like it was like then all of a sudden he's co-main on pay-per-view. All of a sudden he's a preview. Like nah, and he didn't even lose that bad. He got fucking low-key robbed and. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
but yo, I'd rather that than get dropped because I lost, because I'm Elvis Rodriguez and I lost, a 6-4 type of fight.
Yeah, and the funny thing is now it looks like Elvis Rodriguez might be leaving PBC as well too. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't with him right now. It's like he's calling.
The game is the game, yo.
I mean, supposedly Garrett Russell, but. Was supposed to go to Matchroom. Lucky that those were fake rumors, and he's fighting Edwin De Los Santos at 140, which is still a little weird, but at least he's back, I guess.
Yeah, no, 140 is a little,
too much. I mean, congested.
Yeah, 140.
Yeah, Santos gonna have to take chances to make up for his last fight, but fighting Angry Fists.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it was a good pay-per-view. Like, I mean, it still should have made damn $89.99 or whatever, and it didn't overperform like the Zoo Fundora one, but it was perfectly acceptable. Like it was a good watch for the most part.